Greetings and welcome to Armored Core Reforged, the series where I take the preset ACs of the game and optimize them to the best of my abilities, preferably making them viable in PvP. The process will consist of me going over the original build, then I will go over the upgraded version and all the thought behind it. And then finally, me and a volunteer will do a final PvP test to see which version of the build is indeed superior. As well as after this video goes up, I will be making a community post where you guys can vote as to which preset will be the next featured on Reforged. But all that said, you have yourself a very good one, and enjoy. Greetings and welcome back to Reforged. Last episode, we took a look at Gun 2 Deep Down, and in that video, of course, as usual, I asked for y'all to give it the Reforge a new name. And the one that caught my eye in the vast sea of good names was the Mariana Trench, that being the deepest trench on the planet. I say that it is indeed quite fitting, and that is what it shall be. Very good names, as always. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at today's build, Gun 3. And as we can see, Gun 3 is a missile shield and machine gun wielding heavy tetra. For primary weapons, we have the Ludlow, a solid rapid fire SMG type machine gun for close range stagger buildup. Next, we have the handheld split missile launcher. This is a great weapon for any range constant stagger buildup, as its reload and lock on is very, very fast, as well as it is a handheld so you can swap it with other weapons, making it very versatile at any range with almost any setup. For shoulder mounts, we have the Balaam G2 SPL-12 split missile launcher dual variant, and this is a great missile launcher for medium to long range. Close range is when it starts to lose its guidance value, but at the medium and long range it is most devastating, as its split technique or nature makes it tougher to dodge for most opponents. And then lastly, we have the SUQ-5 pulse shield, which is actually a pretty solid shield for parrying. That is because while its damage mitigation and impact dampening is not the greatest by any stretch of the imagination, its instant guard is pretty clever. Not only is the damage mitigation and impact dampening pretty good, but its instant guard duration, that means once you instantly activate it, you have a 1 second window of all of these heightened defenses. And having a whole second of instant guard is super good for parrying multiple things. Definitely the most unique aspect of this build. For the frame parts, nothing incredibly important, just some pretty bulky parts except for the head obviously. As well as the identity of this build, we have the Varel tetrapod legs, which when we utilize the tetrapod's hover mode, we will not get staggered firing any weapons that would normally stagger us, such as bazookas and charged rifles. As well as tetrapod kicks are indeed quite mighty, covering a nice distance and coming out very fast. And with our current assortment of parts, our AP is nearly at 1200, which is nice. Our main defenses over 1200, also super fucking good. Aptitude stability at 2249, which makes us, or rather, we have enough stability now to shrug off an assault armor, that is if we don't already have any impact beforehand. And 264 boost speed, but that makes sense considering such a heavy build, as well as just Varel themselves are very heavy. So yeah, speed not great, but all the other defenses are goated. For inner parts, for boosters, we have the good old PO4, what most of the red guns seem to have, which is a perfect jack-of-all-trades booster, but indeed is the master of none. For FCS, we have the Max Multi-Lock Connection FCS, which is good in PvE, I suppose. The missile lock itself isn't bad either. I'd sat it on this FCS, but yeah, no, not great for PvP. Generator Mangtang, which is a solid generator. Not exactly what I would run on a Tetra, but it's still heavy stats, good recharge, all the cool stuff. And lastly, for expansion, Assault Armor. And when it comes to the playstyle of Gun 3, it's just get up, hover, fire your Ludlow whenever you can, obviously shoot missiles whenever you can, and use your shield utilizing the full second of super durability for max defenses indeed. Just make sure to put it away after your 1 second is up, and don't even need to like count or like kind of get used to it. You can literally just look at the shield, see when it starts to dampen to not as bright, put it away, let the cooling happen, pop it back out, and also you have a lot of uses of this before it even goes overheated anyway. Yes, this is the original Gun 3. Let's take him into the forge. And here we are, Reforged. For the primary weapons, we're going to be switching the Ludlow to the much more superior at almost any range, or the really just medium to close range, new heavy machine gun. Which, yeah, this is pretty much the new minigun in terms of just constant high stagger buildup at medium to close range. Much better because the bullets are a lot harder to strafe just passively, unlike the minigun. And yeah, it has a reload instead of cooldown, making it come back a lot faster, making it more usable in more scenarios, indeed. Next, we're switching the split missile launcher to the normal box missile launcher, and that is because damage is effectively the same, direct hit adjustment is much better on the box missile, as well as reload and pretty much everything else, allowing us to use this missile much more often to get much more value out of it. For shoulder-mounted weapons, I ended up switching the split missile launchers to the siege missile launcher handheld, as this missile launcher is indeed most mighty. Its amount of damage and impact you can put out is nuts. Thing is, it does ramp up your recoil by a lot, so it's definitely wise putting it on the back of your primary weapon that you use shooting a lot, because I did have it the siege where the box was, and firing the siege and your machine gun at the same time is a recipe for no accuracy whatsoever. So yeah, popping this, switching that with your machine gun, firing it and then switching back is most wise. But yeah, siege missile is indeed goated. And lastly is keeping this shield the exact same, as I do indeed value its 1 second of instant guard duration. For frame parts, just switch to the Varro head for more defenses, kept the core, switch to the snail arms for again their defenses and overall stats, as well as we can ride it with it, their speed pretty much being the exact same, and of course keeping the Varro legs as they are the identity of the build. For inner parts, for boosters, switching to the coral booster, as it has amazing normal thrust as well as upwards thrust, as well as quick boost thrust, which is most mighty on such a Tetra, especially in hover mode. But this will allow us to get up to the sky faster, go into our hover mode, and preferably get the height advantage above our opponents. For FCS, switching to the Volt, as those are the ranges we will be in, and we don't really need the missile lock connection, as all of our missiles, or our 2 missiles, lock on near instantly. For generators, switching to the Coral, as it has enough capacity to run all this at a comfortable EN load, and overall, yeah, I find it to be most useful on Tetras. But if you want a solid gen for more natural regeneration, you can of course just run the VP20C, or even the Santai, although not really Santai, as the current EN load is very close to being overdone, which means your regeneration is going to be slow as fuck. And then lastly, switching the expansion to Pulse Armor, as it is more useful in more scenarios. And when it comes to the playstyle, just like last time, just fire all your missiles when they are available, and then fire your machine gun when can, use your shield for its instant guard of 1 second, and then yeah, just keep on shooting the machine gun and the missiles until your siege missile comes back, switch that up, which honestly has some pretty good synergy with whenever you reload. Obviously it's a little bit after you reload the machine gun, you can go back to the siege and then back and forth. But yeah, no, this should spill a recipe for some pretty epic damage. But yes, this is the Reforged variant. Me and my buddy Shattered will be doing the PvP test now. Shattered will be piloting the original variant of the AC, I will be piloting the Reforged, and we shall battle to see if the upgrades are indeed worthy, versus like a predetermined setup or a very aggressive playstyle, very kiting playstyle. This guy's kind of like, just get kind of close, hover, and just fire all you can, and use your shield when it's possible.
You could just steal like that build I showed you.
Nah, that's way too off model, unfortunately. For something like Requiem, that would be fine, but something like this needs to be a little more within the same identity.
Yeah. Maybe I should throw that in for Requiem and see what you do with it.
Hell yeah, dude. Always down for that.
If I make for a fun video.
Hell yeah.
I was like, curious if we make up some of my builds. Some of my builds is really weird.
I see, I see.
Like Late Show. Have I ever shown you Late Show?
I don't know.
They're a build that makes use of pulse protection.
I see, I see.
They're basically created when I said, hey, how many missiles we can get going at once?
I see. It's pretty dope. I'll edit my wrong rifle out. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Right.
I need to manage my AM better. Ow.
The Juggernaut has betrayed you. He's going around the Juggernaut. How dare he? How dare you use my Juggernaut against me?
Mess you, Dave. This is patch 1.0, so it hate you.
I concur.
Remember the fucking Tetra kicks were like size of
they
buildings?
They were the boogeyman of all the Rikirat.
Ow, it's over.
Juggernaut, how dare you? You're supposed to be on my side! You bastard. It's over. I have the high ground.
average Cheshire build be like?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I ran out all my ammo, so you just stacked it, okay, game?
Let's go. Hey, same deal for you, brother.
You cannot run away, get back here. Oh god.
I ain't running, I'm Ricky Radden.
Stop ratting me, you little bitch.
Hey, man. No,
Why'd I do that? That was
refuse.
pointless. Why'd I do that?
Get
Brain just
plan.
saw the button and went ooga booga.
Hey man, you get close to Juggernaut. Maybe he's maybe just blocked it. Blocked the input.
I guess I was hoping you get stuck with the Juggernaut.
Almost did.
It almost worked.
Oh, good one for you, meddling Juggernauts. Yeah, the fact that shields just make kicks slide right off him is crazy.
Yeah. Shield supremacy.
Right.
Ah,
Oh,
it's over.
push me. All we needed was a little
Finally
swapping.
attained victory.
Alright, and that is it for this episode of REFORGED. Big ups to Shattered for always helping. Absolutely goated lad, that one. So please do me and Shattered a favor by going down to the description and clicking on the links to Shattered's social medias. Shattered posts comics and arts of all kinds. Very creative stuff over there, and it would mean a lot to me and Shattered if you would go ahead and take a look. But yes, if you would like to participate in giving this AC a new name, please do leave a comment below. As well, next episode would be taking a look at Gun. G1 Michigan, and closing off the Red Gun chapter. If you've missed the other Red Guns, you can check the playlist indubitably. But yeah, no, we'll take a look at Michigan and then the Vespers. And once we get to the Vespers, I'll start bringing back the posts where y'all can vote on which Vesper we take a look at first, and so on and so forth. As well as we are doing the sub goal. If we reach 2,500 subs, I will be doing a Requiem week in where I upgrade player builds of Requiem for every day of a whole week, and that should be pretty fun indubitably. If we hit that milestone, that would be most epic indeed. But yes, that is it. I will see y'all next time. Have a good one. Bases.